The final hour, the long haul. Dominic Guanzon, are you going to join us too to talk about these next two topics? You going to join us?
You finished the My Little Pony discussion. So.
Okay, you're coming back in now. You're coming in now. It's a safe space again. It's a safe space once again. Very nice to have you both with me. We are going to be talking about Netflix's plan to release 80, count them, 80 movies in 2018, as well as 30 original anime series. So we'll talk about the movies, though, because that's kind of what we are more well-versed in. So this past weekend, the Meyerowitz Stories New and Selected came to Netflix. This is the brand new Noah Baumbach movie. Noah Baumbach directed Greenberg, The Squid and the Whale, Margot at the Wedding. And this film, great cast, this Meyerowitz Stories, now available on Netflix. Had Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller was in it, Dustin Hoffman. Great movie. I know, Joe, you and I were talking about it off air. You were thinking about seeing it?
Yeah, no, I saw it on Netflix, and I didn't know, once again, didn't know this was a Netflix movie that was being released, and I was like, oh, I'll definitely check this out.
Check it out. Adam Sandler gives one of the best performances he's given in years, at least since Reign Over Me 10 years ago. And
But Click, though.
Click was good.
Click is the magnum opus. I'm kidding.
Well, Click is good. Click is, I defend, I stand by
Punch
that.
Drunk Love and even Funny People. His performances in those, I thought
Funny
were pretty
People's good. Well, the reason why Meyerowitz Stories is infuriating is because it shows the real potential of Adam Sandler that he never wants to capitalize on it. And the fact that, well, the funny thing is too is like the fact that we're talking about Adam Sandler being in a Netflix movie. Adam Sandler is now about to be, I believe, next year he'll be on his 4th picture deal of Netflix.
Was this not one of them?
Adam Sandler, the
Baumbach's movie. This is no Baumbach's movie. He just acted in it.
Adam Sandler, the face of Netflix.
I know the face. Well, you know it's funny, you know, and this is just so awful. This just shows you how serious that Adam Sandler takes it. You know what Adam Sandler said in a press conference when I don't know if you guys caught this, when Netflix announced that they teamed up with Sandler for 4 movies and stuff like that. He said he came in. He's like I'm very excited. You know that Adam Sandler voice. He's like, I'm very excited. Number one reason I wanted to come to Netflix. Netflix rhymes with wet chicks.
Oh my
and he's like,
God.
let this. So he goes, let the streaming begin. You know, and I mean that's such a Sandler line right there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, did you watch the 3 Adam Sandler movies though that came to Netflix? Did you see those?
I tried watching Ridiculous 6, and then I was just like, I got other stuff
That was the worst one. That was the worst one. That was the first one too. The Do-Over with David Spade was halfway decent. I hate to say it, it was halfway decent.
Does the Kevin James one count or no?
Kevin James, no.
Okay.
That's Kevin James movie. The other one, there's 3. There's Ridiculous 6, which I hated. There's Do-Over, which was fine, and then there was Sandy Wexler, which was mediocre. But Sandy Wexler, man, it was like a character. Imagine like the movie The Waterboy, another movie about a character with an incessant voice. And the best part about Sandy Wexler was it was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh.
That was the best part about the whole thing. I mean, you had like a great amount of cameos. If I remember correctly, Weird Al was in it, and there was a lot.
He always gets like weird cameos for his movies, man.
I mean, Vanilla Ice is in it. That's the one thing I do like about Sandler. He's bringing back Vanilla Ice. I'll always take that. But going back though, you should see Meyerowitz Stories. But Netflix is coming out at the end of the year though. They got the movie Bright, the Will Smith movie coming out. This big budget, $90 million David Ayer movie. David Ayer, of course, most recently the director of Suicide Squad.
End of Watch.
End of Watch as well. Very good
movie.
Yeah.
Very good director.
Fury.
Yeah, Fury's another great one too. I almost forgot about that one.
That's the same guy?
Yeah, same guy.
Wow.
Ayer,
that makes so much sense.
Ayer does a lot of really interesting movies. And that ends the year then for Netflix because Bright comes out in December, which is going to be interesting too. And then next year, like I said, you got 80 movies. I'm looking right now. The big one next year, and I mentioned it now. What do you guys think about this? Martin Scorsese makes his Netflix debut with The Irishman.
We were talking about this actually a little bit over break. I did not know this was a Netflix movie. I thought this was being released in theaters, and just hearing it's going to be released on Netflix, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
I might just do a viewing party with a few people, honestly. Like, that just sounds awesome.
That's going to be interesting because you got someone of Scorsese's caliber.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get it
on the big screen.
On the big screen where it's like you actually drive to or walk, to the theater, go in, buy the ticket. You sit down, you get the previews, you get the whole experience. Instead, you're going to be getting an experience of like, oh yeah, hey, Scorsese's on the Netflix. Let's go in. Let's just go to your room and let's watch it.
And because it was a big deal with it was a really big deal with Adam Sandler getting on board with Netflix because it came right after a string of like box office bombs for him, and it really, the thing with Adam Sandler's movies, this is the funniest thing about Adam Sandler's movies, is that you think that, like, how does Adam Sandler's movies bomb? They must have nothing, like no budget or anything. But his movies are really expensive. I'm trying to pull up some numbers on these movies and stuff like that.
Pixels was a lot. From what I
Pixels,
know.
that was like the coffin ceiling nail, was
Yeah.
Pixels. Because Pixels was like a $129 million movie.
It was spent all on the pixels itself, like
pretty
all
much.
the VFX.
and the license for all those things too.
Grown Ups 2 was $80 million. That
What did you spend it on?
That's My Boy with Andy Samberg was $70 million.
Those
Jack
cameos, man. It's got to be that.
Jack and Jill was $80 million.
What?
That makes you know what? Considering they had to film him twice and put him in like the prosthetics or whatever, I get that.
I mean,
Grown Ups too.
Click was $85 million.
That makes sense.
That makes a little
There's
bit more
special
sense.
effects
Yeah.
there.
Just Go With It with Jennifer Aniston was $80 million.
I didn't see that.
I mean,
That
they
was-
had to go to a very expensive
And even
hotel.
Blended, another one too that cost it was actually cheaper, but it still didn't make that much money. Was Blended. Blended was about $40 million. But again, like you think, like how do Adam Sandler movies bomb? Why do they cost as much as a damn medium budget sci-fi movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean, that's insanity to me that these movies cost so much. And Adam Sandler has admitted before too that his movies are like taking a vacation to begin with. So what the hell are you spending the money on? You know what I mean?
A lot of drinks, I guess.
I guess I have room service. I take it. My God.
Maybe the crew's all buying drinks for
Yeah.
themselves.
God, and like his shoots are only like a couple week periods too, only like 4 weeks. You would have to try to spend $80 million in 4 weeks. You would have to try to do it because like the thing is too is like that even Rob Schneider and like all his buddies and stuff like that, taking massive pay cuts, they do it anyway. What the hell are they doing? You know what I mean? But
Who's fronting the money on Adam Sandler?
Well, now, like I said, now with the Netflix movies, man, that was a big
I
big sign too. Was the fact that like it was like your movies just don't make money, and then they get like lambasted critically. So now Scorsese going to Netflix now is even bigger too because Silence was a commercial failure. And Silence too was a lot like Warren Beatty's movie Rules Don't Apply, where it was like there was no way that this passion project was going to make any money to begin with. It was done solely for like the benefit of the director and stuff like that. So the fact that Scorsese is committing to Netflix, that's the biggest draw, in my opinion, I think, to this new Netflix model, and we're not far away. I think we could even maybe see it this year's Oscars. Netflix movies are going to start getting nominated for Oscars.
And I hope
Absolutely.
so. They deserve it sometimes. Really,
That's the trajectory. I mean, what's the news coming out of about Netflix?
You said. Well, the news now is that, like I said, they're going to be making 80. They're going to have 80 movies next year.
80 movies compared to what was this year?
About 60 to 70.
Before that, I'm sure it was 40 or
Something like that.
Or
So
like
it's not
60
like it's not like a jump. You know what I mean? It's not like a jump. But
huge investments a couple years ago, and to this day, I would not be surprised in five or so years, 10 years, we're gonna get nothing but Netflix originals.
I mean, everybody made a big deal last year too when Manchester by the Sea came out. That's an Amazon movie. And then
I didn't even know that.
Cafe Society, the Woody Allen movie. Woody Allen's working with Amazon now too.
Oh.
So I mean, and he did his own show with that Crisis in 6 Scenes as well. So that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how this movie Bright does too. It's gonna be really intriguing. But like all the Netflix original stuff that I've seen, excluding Adam Sandler stuff this year, I've liked. I mean, like I said, the Meyerowitz Stories was great. Oak Joe was really good. You know what I mean? And then there was another great Netflix original that came out this year, too, if you guys didn't see it. It was a comedy special. Brad Paisley's Comedy Rodeo. If you saw that, it was definitely something to
Did you get a chance to see the Pee-wee Netflix movie?
You know what's funny? I actually, I watched Big Top Pee-wee this past weekend.
Yeah.
I'm watching Pee-wee's Big Holiday before the end of the month.
Okay. Let me know
before
what you
the
think
end
about
of the
it.
month. Because I'm interested. Because I know I didn't talk about this on air. I've just started to get into Pee Wee Herman. I watched Pee Wee's Big Adventure for the first time a couple weeks ago. Are you laughing at, Dom? What, you ever watch the Pee Wee movies?
Yeah, growing up a little bit, like in grade school and high school.
See, I always looked at that character and I always thought he was going to be so incessant I'd never tolerate him. But my God, like I didn't even hate. I don't love it. I still haven't reviewed it. I'll review it the next couple days. I didn't love Big Top Pee Wee, which is like the Pee Wee movie that always causes controversy. A lot of people don't like it, but like there were parts of that I did enjoy.
Yeah.
It's so active. It's such an active kind of movie, a Pee Wee Herman movie is, and he's such an active kind of
It's interesting.
character,
It's
so,
very interesting. You know what I mean? I really was surprised at how much I loved Big Adventure. I think
Yeah, Big Adventure's great.
Beautiful, great fun movie. But anyway, moving on though, moving forward, gonna briefly address the box office results of Happy Death Day. We talked about it earlier in the show with Gianna. Liked it a lot. We liked it pretty much. I know you two liked it. I was a little bit more mixed on it, but I do at the cut and dry of it all. I really did think it was a pretty good movie. Something that we don't really get a lot of anymore as well.
Yeah.
But what's really surprising now too is Blumhouse, and I'll ask you this, Joe, and Dominic, feel free to chime in on this right now. Is Blumhouse really the king of horror movies right now? Are they really the king of horror movies?
Financially, yes, and critically, I would even say so. Yes, especially with this year with Get Out, this movie, they've been receiving pretty good reception from both audience and critics so far. And yeah, like if you want to get into the Happy Death Day, this movie only costed $4.5 million.
Yeah, it's not a lot, not a lot at all.
And that's the whole thing with Blumhouse is that
that's how much Get Out cost.
Oh, really?
$4.5 million.
Yeah, Blumhouse, they always just give you a small budget to work with.
Yeah.
And they get a big return.
Massive return. And I mean, the thing is that I said too is that Get Out came out opening weekend. It made $33 million. Split opened about a month before that. It made $40 million opening weekend. Happy Death Day now makes $26.0 million. We're now at a point too where it's like Blumhouse is putting out these are all original movies.
Yeah.
And The Visit too. I don't have the numbers on The Visit, but The Visit opened big as well. And these are not franchise tethered. These are not movies tethered to a franchise. And they're coming out and they're doing big numbers. And it's really great to see it